Today I'm going to show you how to take something like this and make it into a very nice, lightweight, wood-burning backpacking stove like that. Alright, so what you see here is sort of my prototype. It's not as neat as what we're going to be making today will be. It's got a little screen on top. You can feed your wood in through here or in through here. It sort of looks like a rocket stove, but it isn't. Here's the cool part about it. When you're done with it, this piece comes right out. This piece can fit right around the outside of that. You can throw in whatever else you had in there. Let me take the lid off this one. Put a lid on it, and there you go. The stove is nice and portable. You can also store stuff in there, a char cloth, fire kit, whatever, as you're going. This kit itself, okay, fully done with the lid on it. Let's see how many ounces. 4.6 ounces. For a wood-burning stove, that's pretty darn good. I mean, I know there are the ones, I've tested them too, that, you know, are the individual slices of metal and you stack them all together. But this is something you can do at home. And again, I need to tell people that survival doesn't need to cost you a fortune. So we're going to put one of these together out of this. And I made these. These didn't work out, by the way. We'll explain that later. Crossbars for the heat. This was soup. This was a little generic soup can. And this was a Thrive Life can, but you can get a small metal coffee can. These are the pantry cans. But you can get one of these smaller metal coffee cans if you can find them. There's, Bustelo coffee that still comes in metal cans. And a few others that still come in metal cans. So we're going to get to work and I'm going to show you how I do this. Alright, your first step is going to be to clean out the cans. I like to clean them out. Remember, I'm going to try to make this look nice. My prototype was kind of rough, but I'm going to make this one look pretty nice. So I want to clean out the junk, and I also want to get off this glue that's on the side of these. Now, the way I found to do that easily is with some brake parts cleaner. Spray it on there, let it sit, and the stuff will eventually, as you can tell by the stuff and the ones in the middle, just wipe off. So I'm going to do that, and I'll bring you back when that's done. So we got most of it off. I mean, the rest will burn off. Again, I'm just doing this because I want to make this nice, because I actually want to use this. I'm putting together another kind of day hiking bag, and I want this to be the stove in there. So our next thing is to cut the end off of the smaller can. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it up about here, by about the third ring there, because when I put this in here, if I put it all the way in, it's going to go like practically to the back, and any wood that falls down underneath it isn't going to get burned, or it's not going to burn as efficiently. So I'm going to cut it to about the third level here. And let me set up the Dremel, and I'll bring you back when we do that. Alright, so I got the old can out, and because this was still a little bit long, I went one more in. So this was to the third, so I just marked it in on the fourth little indentation, the fourth little ring there. And we're going to cut that and see how it fits. Whoop, one last little spot. Alright, there we go. We got the bottom off. Now it's still a little uneven. I'm going to run it over some sandpaper and take off the rough edges. Now again, you don't need to go crazy here. It's just a matter of getting off the rough edges and kind of evening it out. So I'm going to do this until I get a nice flush, even kind of rounded layer, and I'll bring you back for the next step. Now you may be wondering why I cut the bottom off this first and didn't trace it around here. Well, there's a reason for that. If you notice, this is kind of bent a little oval. There's a reason I do that. I'm going to squeeze it oval, measure it up against the can. When you do it oval like that, I found that when you put it in, it takes a little work to get it in there, but when you get it in, there's less gap around the outside. So I'm going to measure this around, I'm going to trace it around, but at first I'm just going to kind of bend it into a little bit of an oval there. We're just going to hold that. I'm going to go a little lower on this stove than I did on the other. And of course, now my marker would run out of ink. Remember to cut inside your lines when you do it this way. All right, because your lines on the outside, they're going to be kind of, your hole's going to be awfully big if you cut on the line. You want to cut inside the line. So that's kind of sloppy, but kind of a rough estimation of the hole I need. So I'm going to start small and go out and out bigger and bigger until this is a pressure fit kind of push in there. And I'll bring you back when that's done. All right, back. Now what I'm doing here is just getting rid of that burr so you won't hurt your fingers on it when you're putting this together, and it won't catch on stuff in your bag. That's smooth. Yes, I'm aware you're only supposed to use a file one way. I'm just doing this to get rid of the burr. And this is basically a piece of junk file. It's an old one. There we go. Alright. And that's, yeah, I mean, I didn't want you to bore you with me drilling it out and then taking this bit here and making it perfectly oval. Because I'm actually going to use this, so I want it to be perfect, you know? When I do projects, I tend to be a bit of a perfectionist. So anyway, let's wipe out the crud that's in there. There we go. Now this, as you can tell, I've kind of bent it a little bit. So this should fit in here pretty well. And the first few times you do it, it's going to be a tight fit. And you want a tight fit. There we go. Is that even on the bottom? Yep. There you go. So, as you notice, because I've kind of bent it in that way, there's less open gap here. I'm not really worried about it too much. But if there's a ton of open gap here, I'm concerned that the fire might also escape out here. And really, I want that kind of wind tunnel action, kind of like a rocket stove, but we're not going that far with this because we want it to be portable and light and easy to carry. So there's the bottom piece. And again, if I need to take it apart, I rinse this out and then dry it off. Again, if I need to take it apart, that piece comes out, goes in the middle. And my grate, which I already made for the other one, so we're going to use it for this one, just goes around the outside here. I put a cap on it, and I can store whatever I need to store in there. So that's about it, really. That's how simple it is. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to take this outside to our little testing area there, and we are going to give it a test and see how well it burns. I have some wood chopped up, so I'll bring you back when we're outside up there and all set up. Just one thing I forgot to mention. I did mention these before. I made these. These are supposed to be crossbars instead of this, and they would sit up there. They did work very well, but you have to drill into the can or cut these, and they just weren't as stable. And I've used this for my other little stove that I made, my little wood gasifier. I've used a similar kind of thing, and this is just the I guess they call it rebar or chicken wire or rebar wire or whatever, wall repair wire. I don't know what it is, but regardless, that's all it is. And I just cut it, and I left a little bit on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. Let me put my hand there. A little bit on the bottom, which will sit right in the edge around the outside here. So it just sits right in there. So that's an explanation for the little crossbars. Now let's get it outside. All right, we're outside. I got it loaded up with wood. I'm going to put the outside edge on it. There we go. Okay, that's good. And I'm just going to messing around with this little magnesium striker. Pulled off some magnesium there. There you go. That's lit. It's going to go in. We're going to try. There's my neighbor's dog saying hello. Try and get it going there. And it looks like it's taking. So I'll bring you back when it's fully going, and we'll try boiling 2 cups of water on it. Alright, seems to be doing pretty well. I'm going to pull up my clock app here. I'm going to start it. And put it on there. It's actually doing really, really well. And it's not overly windy today, so we'll see how well this works. I'm not going to cover it. I was going to bring out the cover, but I forgot it, and I'm like, I'm not going back in for it. So we'll see how well this works. Alright, there we go. I got a rolling boil on it. It is 4 minutes and... let's see, stop it. I don't know if you can see it out here. 4 minutes and 18 seconds. Rolling boil. So that's a pretty efficient stove. all in all, I'm pretty pleased with it. It's done a very good job, and it's super light, can fit in your backpack. And for those of you that don't want to spend a ton of money on camping gear, there's your portable wood stove. Nice and easy to make, real simple. I'm going to pull that off. Let's see how hot that is. Not bad. And as you can tell, let's see down in there, pretty efficient. It's mostly just charred up pieces of wood. I'm going to let it burn out, but that is an easy way to build yourself a collapsible little wood stove, sort of a mini rocket stove, in a very short amount of time with a very few basic tools, really just a Dremel. And that's about it for the video today. I hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to check our Amazon links on the bottom and our Thrive Life links on the bottom. Anything you buy from there helps the channel, helps me come up with new gear to review and new stuff for you and future contests. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.